signed, obviously, with him and Billy Joe Saunders, but it's going to be made right around the corner here in Arlington, Texas at Cowboy Stadium. We're seeing more and more fights come to Texas, Coach, in the Dallas area, Houston, and we know there's a lot of fight fans in every city in Texas, man. El Paso, Austin, Corpus Christi, San Antonio, Houston. What's your take on that fight? And give the fight fans a breakdown.
Well, I think it's going to be a great fight. Billy Joe Saunders is no joke. He's a really good fighter. I'm glad to see Canelo wants to fight the best fighters out there. That's why he's pound for pound the best fighter in the world. And look, it's a good fight. But Canelo, for him to win, he has to get close. He has to bang the body, and and use them strong hooks he has against Saunders. But Saunders has to keep him on the end of his punches. Good combinations, and don't get in a slugfest. If he gets in a slugfest, he gets knocked out. Yeah,
I mean, from the times that I have seen Billy Joe Saunders, man, he's one of those fighters, Coach. He's undefeated for a reason. He has a lot of movement. He's a great southpaw. He may have not fought as far as at the level of Canelo, as far as from a resume standpoint.
Right.
But in my opinion, when he fights, he tends to try and make fighters look a little bit amateurish, a little bit silly. But I think it's, like you said, I think it's going to be a little bit difficult, especially going against Canelo, one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world, especially with the experience. And he's on another level now, man. He's really working with Eddie Reynoso and really getting better on another level. My last question to you, Coach, I appreciate your time, very gracious with your time. Jermall Charlo, I know he's one of the best super middleweights, middleweights in the world right now. Been champion. He's been in the, many have him in the top 10 as far as pound for pound, him and his brother. There's been a lot of clamor, man. The boxing fans, everybody, all the boxing forums is talking, man. Him and a possible showdown, man, with David Benavidez. But David Benavidez, I know, recently had a victory on Showtime last weekend. He's been calling out Charlo, and they've been going back and forth on social media, man. What are your thoughts on that fight, Coach, if it potentially happens?
Well, Jermall, who's my fighter, he's a middleweight. And Benavidez is 6 to 8 pounds.
That's right.
If Benavidez want to come down to middleweight and fight him, no problem. We'll be more than happy to fight him as a middleweight. Jermall haven't got to the point to where he's a 6 to 8 pounder just yet. And look, the only crazy thing about it is if we fight him at 168, what does it do for Jermall?
That's right.
What does it put Jermall? He has no belt. He lost his belt on the scale, Benavidez. And if we was to fight him at 168, for what?
Yeah.
For nothing. It doesn't make sense. And if it don't make money, it doesn't make sense.
And does it frustrate you, Coach, as a trainer, right? When you see that there's a lot of guys in the division that for whatever reason the fights haven't been made, like you said, various networks, the various promoters, and it prevents big fights from happening.
Well, it does. It does prevent big fights from happening, but Benavidez and Charlo are on the same side as far as the PBC is concerned.
Correct.
But the fight could be made. But again, Jermall moved up to fight him at 168 for what? Nothing. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and what I was referencing or speaking in reference to, Coach, is more like Gennady Golovkin, guys like Demetrius Boo Andrade, guys that are with different networks, and we want to see those fights. I know, everybody wants to see it, and everybody also wanted to see Charlo potentially fight Canelo, man. Would that be a fight that you guys would possibly be willing to go up to 168?
Absolutely. Look, Canelo has a few belts that we could fight for, and it's worthy of him going up to 168 to fight him, because he, it's something you can get out of it.
Do you feel that Jermall would be his toughest challenge?
Oh, without a doubt. Styles make fights in this sport. Styles make fights, and Jermall has everything it takes to give Canelo, I think, something that he's never seen before.
Well, listen, Coach, we appreciate your time, man. We really do. Is there any last shout-outs you want to give to any of your friends, any of your family, any of your fans that are watching back home?
Hey, just all of my fans, just keep watching boxing.
Well, listen, guys, we appreciate your time. It's your boy, Jimmy Blue, Mr. All Access Elite Boxing, signing off with one of the best trainers in the world, Ronnie Shields.